city or town or area, then check out dealmakermeetups.com. Stay up a second. Can you put the other slide on, Tommy? The other site, since you brought it up. Inner Circle. Why do you like, I mean, you're on Zoom with me every Wednesday at noon. Like, you show up, you're in the room, you and Chuck and Rebecca and so many others. But if you're in Inner Circle with me, would you raise your hand? Can you come up real quick? Oh my gosh, there's a lot of you guys. Come on up.
Come on, if I get
Tell
to
us
here,
what
come
you
on.
like about, I mean, you're there every week, Tony.
You're
And like,
saying it. You're seeing it right here. This is why, because you don't have to have all the ideas. You
there's
don't have
more
to have
here
all the
than I
knowledge.
realized.
You get to come
Oh,
in and
man,
listen to
yeah.
other people and tell their stories. I heard a great story by
Come on up.
Ron. If you haven't met Ron, where's Ron at? Raise your
Can you
hand.
get our picture, Rita?
I don't see Ron. Oh, well, if you meet Ron, he's
Oh, yeah.
really tall,
Come on up.
dresses real nice.
Come on
guy.
up, guys.
Oh, he's
Stand
coming. He's
up.
walking
I
up
didn't
right now.
know.
He's got a
There's
great
more here
story.
than I realized. Come on up, Ron. See, this is a community of like over 400 people. It's $97 a month, or if you prepay, it's like Mary Hart does. She likes that. You like to prepay the 6 months. It's $67 a month, right? So, wow, there's more here than I realized. Thanks. So, Tony, since you've got the microphone, I mean, why do you show up every Wednesday at noon? Oh my gosh, there's a lot of you. Thank you.
This is why. I mean,
Thank you all.
the
Rebecca.
stories that everybody tells, the learning that you get to do from
Suzanne.
everybody else, and there's
Thank
always
you.
somebody different on there to give some great insight and learning. So there's education,
Thank
but
you,
there's also
guys.
camaraderie and meeting other people that you get to meet in person, and it's great. Like, you get to see there, actually meet them and have extra conversations, so it's a lot of fun.
And we have like, the way that we do it is it's almost like an open podcast conversation. So I have a guest on every week. This week's Flipping Houses. In 2 weeks, it's on seller financing. We do, my partner Daniel Clayman does development. So he did it this week on Wednesday because I wasn't there. And we've got like a development at the end of the month. So whether it's new construction, seller financing, or anything in between, we really cover it all. Tony, thanks for being part of that community. And then, are you able to put that up there so they can see how to register if they want? If not, I'll email it to you guys. There's more here than I realized, which is good. Thank you guys for being part of that.
Our super fancy projector, if you get close.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
That's why we gotta stay in front of it.
I forgot. Oh, you got to reset it, right? Isn't that an amazing projector to be that close to the
You don't
screen?
have to have it far back.
Well, who's got an aha moment from yesterday or met somebody that you really enjoyed, that you wouldn't mind sharing? What happened yesterday that you loved? Well, anything in particular? What is it about Dealmaker or somebody you met or something you learned that you'd like to share? There you go.
I had a lot of aha moments, but I think one of my biggest ones was when Jeff Shahusky gave us the homework assignment
Yeah.
about the calendar, because that takes a lot of guilt
Mm.
out of my conscience that I'm not doing enough, not working hard enough.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like the idea where it's kind of like go narrow and deep.
Mm.
The time you have left in your week, you can really focus and do
Yeah.
a deep dive into your business.
I love that. And I think if all of us were to remove distractions and block time for some period of time every week, we'd hit our goals faster for this year. You know, we get so much distraction, there's so much noise all around us. Block an hour a day. If you're having trouble finding deals, block an hour a day. If you're having trouble finding partners for lending, same thing, block an hour a day. And I think that really is amazing. One of the things that happened to me probably 8 or 10 years ago is I started to get really shallow and really wide. And this reminded me of when you said that, Suzanne. You said you take one thing and go really deep. I was in a mastermind, and they came back to me and they said, you're an inch deep and a mile wide. You're like doing too many different things. Take a couple things and go really deep with them, and go an inch wide and a mile deep. And that little bit of a shift for me, Suzanne, made a big difference. All right, Mary Hart.
Mine is less a specific aha and just more about the people that I meet at every deal maker
Yeah.
I've ever gone to. And whether it's this one or the main one in March in Richmond, is the people that you attract, Jim, are so generous with their time and their knowledge, and the conversations are just so stimulating and wonderful. And of course, we had a group of women last night. We laughed our heads off till 10 o'clock. It was so fun. We finally said, we have to go to bed. But anyway, I just want to commend you for the character of people that you attract to these events.
Thank you. I forget who I was talking to this morning, but you know, a lot of real estate events, they end up getting really focused on greed and creating, yeah, you can make millions of dollars, so what? It isn't hard to make money. It's easy to lose your reputation quick, and it's also what you do with that money that makes a difference. And I think if you focus on leaving your ego at the door and then focus on being generous and things like that, that keeps the greed at bay. Because there's too many people that do get caught up with that. So I'm glad you mentioned that, Mary. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Bill Leonard, and I'll give Boaz Watson some note, even though he doesn't need it. I thought I had a pretty good, pretty tight lender due diligence process in place. But I heard a couple of things yesterday that I said, well, gee, you know, I don't have it. I look over to the guy next to me, what, Chung? And he says, well, I don't have that either.
Me
so,
neither.
So that by itself was very much a plus, and I'm going to incorporate that into how we go forward.
Thank you. And I appreciate your email this morning, too. Thank you. Some of you guys are emailing me back, which I appreciate. Who else has an aha moment from yesterday? Mike Hicks, Mr. 4.5 million views on where? Oh, here we go, Dick. It was nice talking to you this morning.
Yes, sir. Dick Hamilton from a suburb of Chicago, Tinley Park. I like a subtle point that Jeff made yesterday morning is we all have these things we're worrying about in our business. And some of them keep us up at night, some of them just bother us during the day. Focus on that and turn it around and make it your strong point.
I like that. Dick, tell us, you've got that Marines hat on. When did you serve and where?
I was I was with the 1st Marine Infantry Battalion to land in Vietnam on March 7th of 1965. So I was there at a good time.
Thank you for that. All right, appreciate your service. We're free because of you.
I was just going to piggyback off of what Mary said and thank Jim for putting these on. But what I notice about your events is they're never about you. It's never about the speakers. Y'all are always uplifting everyone else and encouraging everyone else and talking about everyone else's wins. And I just want to thank you for that.
No,
And that
thanks.
goes for
I'm
Jeff
much
and
more
Jeff and
comfortable
Chuck.
talking about your wins than mine, if you haven't noticed. Hey, can you stand up really quick? We're going to sing Happy Birthday to Mark, okay? You ready? All right, here we go. You guys ready? Happy birthday to you. Love you, man. I appreciate you. Happy birthday, dear Mark. Happy birthday to you. There's a deal maker birthday. All right, anyone else? Got time for like one more here. Then we're going to roll. Oh, how are you?
Efrain Rosario from Puerto Rico. I
Love it.
presently live 3.5 hours north of here. 2 things. Number one, the extraordinary panels that
Yeah.
came up yesterday. It was outrageous.
Yeah,
really.
love it.
And
panels.
second of all, I like very much that this community, this group, this organization is not pushing sales of anything.
Right.
And that's,
Refreshing?
oh yes. I'm an Army veteran.
Yeah, thank you.
And really, every time I go to an event and they're just pushing,
Yeah.
it dislikes me.
Yeah.
So thank you very much.
I appreciate that. We try to keep that to a minimum. One last one. Oh, Sharon, you're going to sing in a little while, right? Are you going to sing to me now? No, I'm just kidding. Here you go, kiddo.
still have time to warm up some more. I would say it's more of an aha in the sense of being here and being present, especially coming on board with Jeff Chahusky and just being here the past few years, being able to be part and sing and all that good stuff, and share my gift and with all of you all, and just be so welcomed with y'all. I would say my big aha was being present for this event, because I've, you know, like we all have life that happens, and your mind might be all over the place at other events that you attend for Dealmaker or anything for that matter. And I would have to say this is probably the most present I can say that I've been. And it's interesting in the timing with where I am in my journey and where I'm going in my journey, and how that has really panned out. Because before, like I was telling Chuck yesterday, I said that's a big thing for me, because when I first started coming to these, I was, you know, wholesaling mobile homes back in Louisiana, and I loved that. But since I moved to Florida, I paused everything, and I was doing a lot of soul searching and figuring out what's going to be my next move. And so I'd come to these kind of lost and just trying to figure it all out. And it's honestly the first time I actually feel like I have my
Good.
place. And so I really appreciate that. So
You have a
thank you.
place in our hearts, Sharon. Okay. Well, I'm glad you guys love the panels. I love the panels too. Today we have a panel after Chuck, and I'm going to